I feel like I'm an observant person. I've begun to notice that every 8 or 9 months, my YouTube algorithm begins to slowly suggest to me content related to investing, stocks, real estate, crypto, the like. After viewing 1 or 2 clips made by various creators, I go on a week-long FinTube binge, get a bit hyped about whatever the latest meme stock or shitcoin is, make a few small impulsive trades, hodl until I have a significant paper loss, then cope by telling myself that I'm not really a lousy investor, but actually a diamond-handed demon. It's not about timing the market, as Warren Buffett says. It's about time in the market. Well, every time I'm in the market, I lose money with perfect timing. But in all seriousness, I noticed that each of those videos I watched about investing always began with the disclaimer, "This is not financial advice, and I'm not a financial advisor." No matter how savvy the guru on screen seemed or wanted to be deemed, they never forgot to say that. Is that done to shield them from any legal liability if someone dumps their life savings into a panda breeding ETF or long puts on the SPY? Well, I guess it does, because I've yet to hear about a content creator who shilled PoopyCoin to millions of viewers and earned thousands of dollars in ad revenue or cash for endorsements being hauled to criminal or civil court. I guess just saying those 10 magic words at the start of your covert infomercial for the stock Wall Street bets wants to be the next retail pump and dump really does absolve you of any responsibility. What a world we live in. Well, if that's the case, and since this is my first time writing anything related to finance, I guess I'll follow custom. This is not financial advice, and I'm not a financial advisor. Please consult a professional before making any financial decisions. What I will be writing about today is related to the BLAXIT movement. BLAXIT is about Black diasporans who are born in or raised in predominantly non-Black societies, mostly Western European civilizations, and in particular the USA, emigrating from those countries in pursuit of personal liberty, economic opportunity, and to mitigate the forces of white supremacy on themselves and their families. It is essentially a protest movement. We are protesting not only how America, in this case, treats its Black citizens, but how America's economic and military imperialism has harmed almost every other group of people on Earth. By removing ourselves from this society, we are showing our dissatisfaction with the status quo and robbing America of its most important resources, human capital and a tax base. The end goal for any Blaxiteer, the term for Black diasporan emigres I use who identify with my ideology, should be to find a way to ultimately divorce themselves from America by living in a way that is as far away as possible from America's jurisdiction. This, I believe, leads to the ultimate solution, renouncing American citizenship and the subsequent duty to pay taxes. I truly believe you cannot say you are unequivocally dedicated to the cause of battling white supremacy and American imperialism if you're still bound by responsibility to pay taxes to the state that perpetrates the worst crimes against humanity and promotes a racist ideology across the globe. However, this is a feat that even I haven't been able to reach yet, and it would be wrong of me to condemn others who did not or will not take this radical course of action, but still agree with the premise that we have to leave America. That's fine. As I've said before, nobody should have to leave the country they're born in because that society is sick. Nobody gets to choose their first nationality or if they'll even have one at all. Therefore, emigration is an optional choice that no one should have to make because it is incumbent on that country to improve so it can better treat its citizens. But that doesn't mean emigration isn't the optimal move. The ideological Black emigres are some of the bravest warriors against white supremacy because they're taking 2 things with them the beast of American capitalism would starve without: their labor and their money. So if you're listening to or reading this and you're like me, a Black American seeking or already living abroad, and you want to find a way to manage your money abroad or make money while abroad, I'll share my secrets. Remember these things, however. Number 1, I'm not a rich or financially savvy person. I've been open in my previous writings that I've been a part of the working poor since the start of my adult life, and currently I make approximately $18,000 annually. Number 2, the end goal for me, as it should be for you, is to get legal residency, then hopefully citizenship in a country where you personally feel at ease, safe, free, and where the forces of white supremacy are mitigated and manageable according to you and or your family. Number 3, I do not encourage anyone to break any laws or evade any financial responsibilities to the state. Anything I say is in relation to me, and I impel everyone to make sound decisions with their money in accordance with the law. Give to Caesar what is due to Caesar. Number 4, I am not being paid to promote any product or financial service. Any business or platform I recommend is solely because I genuinely find their products and services useful to the cause. With that said, let's get to it. The first suggestion I have is to use an online banking service. Of course, all the major banks like Chase, Wells Fargo, and Bank of America have online services, but I recommend using banks that are only digital because, from my experience, they charge less fees for account maintenance, international ATM withdrawals, and little or no penalties for going into overdraft. Many of the online banks also offer investment services and interest-building savings accounts. The ones I use the most are Stash and Acorns. These two banks are FDIC insured, meaning that the money deposited into these accounts is guaranteed up to $250,000 should the bank fail. I primarily use their services using their app version on my phone, though sometimes I use the desktop version on a browser when I need to do more complicated transactions or access particular information. Both interfaces are easy to use. The other thing I like about these apps is that they both allow you to invest in the stock market with relative ease. With Acorns, you can only invest in a handful of pre-selected exchange-traded funds after saying what kind of investor you are: conservative, moderate, or aggressive. I've had my account set to moderate for years and have seen consistent return on investment annually since I first signed up for Acorns in 2017, though unfortunately, I've withdrawn from this account multiple times. Yes, during stints of precarity and poverty, I empty my savings while abroad, not allowing my capital to compound. It's a mistake I hope not to repeat in the future, and I truly believe the value investing method promoted by Acorns, that is, the consistent practice of investing in the market over time, does work for people like me who are not financial wizards. Acorns also offers a service where the change left over from your debit card purchases can automatically be invested into your portfolio, allowing your money to compound little by little over time. It is useful and interesting. However, I do not use this service because my debit card transactions are quite a lot during the month, and those nickels, dimes, and quarters taken from my checking each time I swipe really do add up, and that has put me in some tight spots at times, so it doesn't work for me. I think it is wiser to set it and forget it. Automate the amount you want to invest weekly into your account and don't touch it. With Stash, I'm able to open a checking account, a personal investment account, and an individual retirement account, or IRA. I had no idea about IRAs before using Stash in 2018, and I have religiously invested in that since opening it. Stash allows you more freedom to invest in what you want. You can own individual stocks and ETFs, though they do not offer you the ability to trade some low-cap stocks or penny stocks. They also offer a managed money account that you can invest in, and their algorithm or professional traders attempt to grow your money for you. I have not utilized this service, and I don't think I will unless I start making more money. Putting auxiliary services like investing aside, though, both Acorns and Stash have been reliable tools for me to receive payments and store my money. Both of them have reliable and quick customer service centers. Though Acorns is more seamless and faster, both of them allow me to transfer funds easily between them at no cost, with the money usually arriving by the next business day. Both banks allow me to withdraw from foreign ATMs with small fees, 1% from Stash and $0 from Acorns respectively. And both have tight security checks, which allow me to feel like my money is safe. Trust me, as someone whose worldview and political perspective can broadly be categorized as socialist, Marxist, revolutionary, the irony doesn't escape me that I'm speaking up fondly on the behalf of these large, inherently exploitative, capitalistic institutions. Nobody is more embarrassed by what I wrote than me, and you have all the right in the world to turn me into a lol cow. Yet, the reality is, at this stage of civilization, having money is a must to survive to some extent, and these businesses allow me to pursue what I believe to be my purpose in life, living abroad and using my voice to fight the ideological war against the oppressors of the world's downtrodden. My second suggestion for any black Americans seeking to emigrate would be to begin to accumulate foreign currencies. As I've said before, I'm not a doomsdayer, and I don't believe the US dollar is going to collapse and you should start hoarding gold doubloons and silver coins. No, I say you should acquire foreign money solely because it will save you money in the long run when traveling. Traditional money changers have some exorbitant buy and sell rates for US dollars when exchanging their local currency. It could actually help to stash away some euros or British pounds if you're able to access the foreign exchange market or Forex. I've been able to convert the rubles and euros I've received as payments from teaching English online to dollars for some time now using PayPal. However, there have been times I didn't exchange euros to dollars because primarily I was in Europe at the time and it would have made more sense just to pay in local currency to avoid fees, and secondly, because the euro was appreciating against the dollar. I've recently opened an account with the company Wise, another online banking service, to receive euros from a new teaching gig I've picked up. While Wise doesn't offer access to the US market like Stash or Acorns, it does have an interest-bearing FDIC-insured checking account and access to the Forex market on its platform, allowing me to convert my money to any other currency. Now I know, this advice is dependent largely on whether the other currency goes up in value against the dollar, and knowing that a large part of the global financial order of our zeitgeist is built on American finance, I cannot convince even myself that it is not wise to keep some reserves of USD. Hell, if Cuba, Russia, Iran, and North Korea still clamor to claim greenbacks, there's no true escaping the influence of the dollar bill. However, as a warrior against U.S. hegemony and a person seeking liberation away from the clutches of the great Satan, I think it is best to hedge on holding money of different colors. And besides, maybe the doomsday Nostradamuses are right, and we are on the verge of a collapse of the confidence game built around the paper slip with Ben Frank's face. My third suggestion to potential black emigres is to get a job, a gig, or start a career which would allow you to work online. If you don't have the skills right now, develop them, then apply. If you have a skill, talent, or trade that pays you currently, find a way to sell your service online. If you're an entrepreneur or business person, find a way to sell your product or service via the web. Despite what the owners of industry may desire in their antiquated minds, the labor force adjusted to and got comfortable with working from their living room in their pajamas, and they're demanding this be the new status quo. Employers are adjusting accordingly. Now is the time to take advantage of the technological change in how we work, and there will be even more opportunities to come with the advent of AI. I'm optimistic about that. I know not everyone has the education or skills to get a job coding, programming, or web designing. I sure as hell don't. But what all of us black Americans have in common is the ability to speak English. Although it is unfortunate that we picked up this foreign tongue by being stripped of our mothers, it is a highly sought-after skill in this century. How do I know? Because I've been working in the multi-billion-dollar English teaching industry since 2018, and it has allotted me financial stability, freedom, dignity, and the ability to see the world. Has it made me wealthy? No, not at all. But has it given me peace of mind knowing that my job doesn't exploit others and I'm helping people achieve their goals? Yes, it is low-skilled, low-paid labor, but it is steady, high-in-demand work with a low barrier of entry that can be a stepping stone to other opportunities, a long career, or a business you can open for yourself. Native English speakers earn higher salaries than non-natives. Many companies and schools are actively hiring people with no experience as long as they're native speakers with Western nationalities. Some will sponsor your visa and accommodate you to move to Korea, Japan, or other parts of Asia, for example. If you earn a simple certification online like a TEFL or a more advanced one like the CELTA, that will be all you need to get your foot in the door. The work can be laborious and time-consuming depending on the type of learning institute you work for. From my experience, Asian companies are the most strict when it comes to procedure and pedagogy, while European and Latin American companies are more relaxed in terms of those things. Regardless, there are a plethora of opportunities out there, and it might take trial and error to find the right place for you. If you can speak English with good diction, pronunciation, in a somewhat accentless way for short pockets of the day, there's a job for you that will open the door to leaving America. Once again, the pay is horrendous, but if you work 30 to 40 hours a week and are able to pull in at least $1,500 a month or $2,000, you'll definitely be able to clothe, house, and feed yourself at the very least in over 70% of the countries around the world. The best website I recommend to apply for jobs is learnforgood.com. They have teacher listings from all over the world on that site, as well as other job adverts. This free website is specifically targeted towards people and companies who are in the ESL teaching industry, but there are many other reputable sites you can find online to apply for these jobs. Just never pay anyone who says they're going to get you a job. The final jewel I'm dropping is about taxes. Taxes, taxes, taxes. Say this word 3 times in a dark room to a mirror, a zombie IRS agent will appear. Is now a bad time to mention one of my favorite actors is Wesley Snipes? He's a real nigga. In conclusion, I hope my words reach the ears of somebody that truly needs guidance and help on their path to living a happier life, a liberated life, a successful life. I am aware I probably just doxed myself, and someone with enough willpower could intentionally do great harm to me. But that is a sacrifice I'm willing to make and chance worthy to take in the goal of helping my people. I'm also aware that this text may come across as a promotion of capitalism as a vehicle for Black liberation, an idea I totally disagree with. But our material conditions right now don't permit us to live in a way cohesively without the use of money and financial services. Therefore, we have to find realistic solutions as we try to build a better world. I also acknowledge my privilege as a single man with only my new young wife as a dependent, no large assets like a home, and no large liabilities like a car to my name, allowing me to move freely. But if I, Simon Hill, a man allergic to wealth building and the best at making the worst money moves possible can do it, so can you. I'm also aware I didn't mention crypto in my suggestions at all. That was on purpose. Enough said about that. And finally, I know most of my advice is dependent on keeping some residency in the U.S. You can't open even most online bank accounts without an address in the States, for example. Well, if you're observant, you'll know how I'll answer that. The goal is to be completely divorced from the U.S. eventually, not have 1 foot in and 1 foot out. But this is not financial advice, and I'm not a financial advisor. I am only a poor, righteous teacher. Signing out for our people, Simon Hill.